Welcome to the Home Studio Show. Today I've got Mulab 8 free. IK Multimedia have announced Amplitube 5, and yes, there will be a free version of that. Plus, I've got some free plugins and other plugins, so be sure to stick around for all of that. I'm Zane. Welcome to the Home Studio Show, where I do audio tech news and reviews to help you find new tools for your home studio. Now, links to everything mentioned in this episode are in the description, so let's jump in. And first up in this episode is MuTools have released Mulab 8 free. So this is a free version of the very powerful Mulab 8 DAW. I did a review on Mulab 8 a long time ago. I'll be sure to link to that, but basically this is a track limited version of the full DAW. In my opinion, they have limited this a little too much, as you can only have 5 tracks. But you can definitely create a decent foundation for your beat in Mulab 8 free, but for a complete song, it might be a little too limited. Or maybe you only need 5 tracks. Not everyone goes crazy like I do, maybe. So let's look at some of the highlights of Mulab 8 free, and then I'll look at some of the restrictions. So first off, it's an extremely lightweight DAW. I have the full version and it's under 100 megabytes. Plus, you don't even need to install it. You just unzip the folder and run it from there. So this isn't going to add any sort of bloatware to your computer. Another highlight is the MuDrum plugin, and this is an excellent drum sampler plugin, and it even includes some decent kits to get you started. You also get some other great instrument presets too, plus you get some decent effects. The piano roll in Mulab 8 is very nice and it's easy to work with, along with recording audio. This is a simple DAW that's capable of creating some great music as long as you can keep to the 5-track limit. Or you can upgrade to the full DAW. I think it's around $80. Now, the limitations of Mulab 8 free are: you can have a maximum of 5 tracks, no VST plugins, no rewire, no multi-core support, no auto plugin latency compensation, only one MIDI input, no MIDI output, MIDI channel 1 only, exporting to 16-bit audio files only. You can only have one project at a time, only 2 lanes in the audio sequencer editor, no export tracks as audio files function, and no convert rex files function. So some of those limitations may not apply to all of you, but things like the track limitation and the no VST plugin support, that will affect you. But Mulab 8 is a great DAW, and I hope you'll check it out and give it a try, maybe even support them by purchasing a license. Next up in audio tech news is IK Multimedia have announced Amplitube 5. And this will also include an update to the free Amplitube custom shop. If you aren't familiar with what Amplitube is, it's a guitar amp simulation plugin where you can switch out your amps, your cabinets, plus microphones, effects pedals, and rack effects. So what's new in Amplitube 5? Well, there's new gear. You get 129 brand new models, including 2 new stomp boxes, 5 acclaimed amps, 2 new rooms, 19 new rack effects, and over 100 completely recaptured cabinets. You get an all-new drag and drop signal chain that supports up to 57 simultaneous models, series/parallel routing, and blended DI signal. There's a new cabinet section with VIR technology, and VIR stands for Volumetric Impulse Response. And this transforms all 100 plus cabinets in Amplitube 5 with over 143,000 impulse response measurements in all. There's a custom IR loader so you can load and resize your own impulse responses. There's a new mixer with built-in effects, and the new mixer lets you easily blend multiple cabs, mics, and your DI, plus 19 new mixing effects that are included from T-Rax 5. There's a totally redesigned custom shop, which adds a more modern, easy-to-navigate design, and it allows users to demo and unlock gear faster than ever. So this sounds pretty good. Amplitube has been my go-to amp sim for several years now, so I'm really looking forward to grabbing this one. and trying it out once it's released. And I don't think they've announced the exact release date yet, but I'll be sure to keep you updated on that. But be sure to check the link in the description for the intro pricing. There's upgrade options, plus more info on Amplitube 5. Now, in case you missed my full review on TDR Molotok, Tokyo Dawn Labs have released a great free compression plugin called TDR Molotok, and I'll put the link in the description to my full review there, but this free compressor plugin really impressed me. You can use it on buses or on individual tracks, and it's going to sound great. It does color your tracks a bit, so if you want a transparent compressor, this one really might not be for you. But if you want to add some nice character to your tracks, download TDR Molotok. It's free, and it sounds great. Now let's look at some current deals. But before I get there, I just want to ask, can you please give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it so far? It really helps my channel out and I appreciate it so much. Now, let's get into deals. And a big one that's happening until November 30th is Plugin Boutique in conjunction with Beatport are giving you an incredible instrument for free. It's the iZotope Iris 2 Synth. And this instrument regularly goes for $149, but you can get it free until November 30th. Just go to Plugin Boutique, and I've included a link to the Iris 2 listing in the description so you can easily check it out there. Add Iris 2 to your cart, then at the checkout, enter coupon code IRISBP. Recalculate your cart, and you'll notice that it brings the price down to $0. So be sure to grab this one while you can. Also at Plugin Boutique this month, if you purchase anything, not the free stuff like I just mentioned, but anything that costs money, even $1, then you can choose one of 3 iZotope effects plugins. There's ozone elements, nectar elements, or neutron elements that you can choose from. And if you plan on buying more than one plugin, split it up into 3 orders, and then you should be able to get all 3 plugins for free by selecting a different one each time. Again, I've linked to this promo in the description. Check it out. Now let's get into this week's plugins worth checking out. And I might as well look at a Waves plugin because I talk about them quite a bit. So this week I'll look at Butch Vig's Vocals. This is an all-in-one vocal chain including saturation, and it's housed in a kind of cool steampunk style interface. I think this plugin goes for around $35, and Butch Vig is known for producing some huge albums like Nirvana's Nevermind, Smashing Pumpkins albums, and so much more. This plugin is the result of Butch Vig working with Waves to go through his vocal chain and allowing you to have access to it. It comes with some decent presets to get you started in the right direction, which is a nice touch. So let's give it a listen. The next plugin worth checking out this week is Audified's Mixchecker Pro. This is a mix reference plugin, and one of the biggest challenges for many of us home studio musicians and producers is that we aren't recording and mixing in acoustically sound environments, or we're using our headphones. So sometimes we create a mix that sounds good to us in our headphones or in our home studio, and then bam, when we listen to it in somewhere else, it just sounds terrible. So what Audified Mixchecker Pro does is it allows you to listen to your mix on various other types of players, like a car, different types of monitors, earbuds, cell phones and tablets, Bluetooth speakers, and more. So now you can check out how your mix will sound on many different systems without having to leave your studio. Does it sound exactly like listening in your car? No, but if your mix sounds good in this plugin, chances are it's going to sound good in the real world on the same sort of source. And it also lets you know that your mix sounds good in more than one place. So all you need to do is put this as the last plugin on your master track, And while you're doing your fine tuning, you'll be able to hear what it's going to sound like in a car or whatever you select. And of course, you want to disable it or remove this plugin before you do your final mix down. Mixchecker Pro is available on Mac and Windows, so here's an example of how it sounds when listening through it.
Watching 90s reruns on the TV. Everything reminds me of you. This is how we used to be. But now it's just me. And I wonder if you're alright.
All right, now it's time for the free plugins of the week. And this week's first plugin is Odin 2 from the Wave Warden. This is a really nice free synth plugin. It has a great analog sound that isn't based on any one synth, but instead, you can get sounds from various classic synths. It includes a ton of presets so you can easily find a nice starting point and get used to it. You can get it on Mac, Linux, and Windows. Now let's give Odin 2 a listen. The next free plugin of the week is Bass Deluxe from Lost in 70s. This is a classic bass tube amp. You get two identical channels with compression, EQ, and drive settings, allowing you to easily switch sounds. There's also a pedal board with 6 pedals, plus 4 models of bass cabs that are based on some of the most famous bass cabinets. Lost in 70s have done a great job with all of their plugins, and this one is no exception. You can get it on both Mac and Windows. Now let's give it a listen. And if you want to check out even more free VST plugins, click up here, or click down here to see what YouTube recommends. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for checking out this episode for the Home Studio Show and Simple Green Tech. I'm Zane, keep creating, and we'll talk soon.